Rugby League is back.
Drum roll, please.
You're a true Warriors fan.
I have no recollection of that hot take.
We don't all have to agree.
It's good to be back.
It's just a really boring thing.
Oh, no.
Start winning some games.
I think there'll be a lot of changes to the team.
I've got them making the 8 for mine.
Let's go. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Advantage Line, TAB's Rugby League betting podcast. My name is Carl Tiley, and with me today, Paul Mawate. Paul, not in the studio. You found another room somewhere.
Yeah, I have. They've tucked me away somewhere, undisclosed location. But like a lot of NRL teams, we've got a few injuries in the Advantage Line this week. So, yeah, it's just 3 of the spine going around.
And playing his 240th consecutive appearance, Nick Tedeschi. Still can't be injured, can't be broken. He's here all the time.
Trust me, they've tried to get rid of me many times. I keep on coming back. I'm a New South Welshman. I'm a cockroach to the core.
And that'll do us for today on the Advantage Line. That's great. No. That's a pretty good point to start. No Blake. We don't know where Blake is. He said he's not coming, but I've got his bets.
He's probably in a safer position in the bunker Mawadi seems to be in right now.
Don't talk about the bunker, Teddy.
No, Surly. He's in a meeting somewhere. Haven't received his bets yet, which is interesting.
So
he's got approximately 45 minutes, I think.
I might have to draw with this week.
Before this podcast ends, Surly has to get his bets in.
Correct. And he knows that too. We're going to start, fellas. I mean, last week we looked at some feedback from the listeners, from the viewers. Teddy's not happy about this. I just had a quick look at a couple of the clips that we put out last week. And I just want to, look, believe it or not, there's been some positivity out there given back to the Advantage Line crew. First one, which Teddy, I'll let you have first say on. First comment I saw, Paul is a legend. Big fan.
Oh, we're all a big fan of Paul. Yeah, it's good to look after your elders.
This particular person comments on every single video, gives us the thumbs up, and just absolutely froths Moati. So I don't know if this is actually Paul's burner account in a real a KD type scenario here, or what's going on.
I know my brother's a bigger Moati fan than he is a me fan, so.
I can look, Carl, you know my abilities when it comes to IT. I struggle to get my own account open. How the hell I would open a burner account, I have no idea.
That is the best against a burner account I've ever heard. Not guilty.
Yeah, I'm good. You're good. You can walk.
Shout out to that fan. Loving it.
The next one. So this is all on the video we put out where we're reading the feedback to you, Teddy. First one, Paul is a legend, big fan. Next one, please tell Paul to give up the $1 challenge. You had a good 3-week run.
Fair call, but I'm not going to.
Yeah. No. And then some love towards the Advantage Line.
I had a win last week as well.
Okay.
On a roll.
Some love towards the Advantage Line. This is average. Give us more. I'm still laughing. What is this show and where do I watch? Very positive. Next one. Blew me away, this one. I like Teddy. He fits well with the group. Is that your burner account, Teddy?
Well, as you all know, I don't read comments and we certainly wouldn't engage with any kind of video, even if I am on it. So.
And then I looked, we put a video out about the Sharks, Rabbitohs, and Blake was very big on the Bunnies putting up a number. lots of comments. A lot of love for Blake and his takes, but there's a little bit of hate too. First one: have any of these nerds ever played sport? And then diving into the thread there, a lot of people, have you not heard of Blake Ashford? No, which one's that? Is he the one with glasses?
What about a bloke? What about a bloke commenting on a random video calling someone else a nerd? Here we go. All right, champ.
Wow, champed him.
It's just the bloke on the keyboard commenting on videos.
And then the one that I like, look, we're all about safer betting here on this show. But someone put up their house against Blake and his take against the Rabbitohs,
Sharks.
putting a number on the Sharks. And let me tell you, the comment section lit up, telling this guy he needs to give his house keys to Blake because he lost in a big way. So a lot of love for Blake. Real mixed bag of comments, but I'm enjoying this. Keep them coming.
Respect it. Well, for a bloke who was run over by Micah Sevo, I'm sure a little nerd comment's not going to hurt the great man. So he'll be fine.
Wow, that's a real double backhanded combo you've given him there. Like little drive by on the Micah Sevo part.
Drive by on
Not here to defend himself.
It was a straight up machine gun at the bloke who was commenting.
Okay. Moving on. As I said, we'll keep an eye on the comments over the week. Love it. Moving on, we're going to try a different game this week, and this has got disaster written all over it. But like all our games that turn into disasters, we're going to give it a fair crack.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the chain game social media trend at the moment?
No.
Paul, I presume you have. You spend all your time on social media.
Yeah, I do, but I've never heard of it.
Okay.
We run different social media games on.
Yeah, the algorithm is not.
I can't believe I'm on Paul's side of this one, but
okay. So the chain game, I've texted you guys I've given you a word, and then I've given you a list of letters down the page. The first word is try. What I need you to do is link the next, figure out the next word based on the start of the starting letter, which is L.
So I say line.
Sorry?
I say line.
There you go. Try line.
Is this what we're supposed to be doing?
Yes, correct.
I understood the instructions.
You have. Does Paul understand the instructions?
Break.
Line break. Done. Yep.
Break down. Break down.
Space. Break down. You're on fire here, Teddy.
Downfield.
Yes.
Field goal.
Done.
P. We need P now.
What the? God.
Paul, have you got any idea what's happening?
You guys are just
goal comma penalty.
Random words.
What was that, Teddy?
Goal comma penalty.
No.
Can't have that. Is there a correct answer for all this?
Yeah, and you've nailed every single one of them so far.
Oh.
What word are you looking for?
A P.
P.
A P that goes with goal. So goal something, but it starts with P.
Goal post.
Oh.
Goal post. There you go.
Post contact meters.
Sorry?
Post contact meters.
No. It's a good one, though. It is good, yeah.
Postman.
That doesn't really relate to rugby league, but...
Oh.
Outstanding.
Post marker. No.
This is riveting audio.
Oh, gee.
Have you got any clues for us? Oh. Come on, Paul. I flashed us through the first 6.
What is it often referred to after a game?
Post match.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on, post contact meters was better than that. I'd say
It was.
I'd say you need to change the answer. We don't.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That as suspected, disaster. We'll try. Maybe we'll try again. Maybe we won't.
I just flashed
Well,
the first 6 hours away.
I did. Yeah, you did. You did well. You did well.
I got
Paul
no help.
just caught up.
Absolutely no help. It was like being teamed with Marcelo Montoya over here. Couldn't keep up.
Good stuff. Okay, maybe we'll try that one again. I was nearly going to bring back the game where we will have to try and guess the same player or same position. But
I don't remember any of these games.
Okay. Let's Paul betting recap.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Last week.
I think we're running out of time, haven't we, for this?
No, we haven't. We've got plenty of time. Last week, we'll start with Blake. Blake's best bet, Bunnies -5.5 at $2.
And a house. $2.
And a house.
And a house. Try scorer, Sam Walker at $2.55. No. Same game multi. Hopewadi to score a try. Verhoeven to score a try. Olakawatu to score a try. How did he not score? No good. And then as anything bet, the lowest scoring team for the round to be the Tigers at $10.50. No good. Blake was down $50 for the week, and he is up $319.75 for the season. Surly, best bet, either team to win by 1 to 12 in the Bunny Sharks game at $1.78. No good. Try scorer, Bostock at 2.10. Tick. His same game multi, Purdue to score a try, Lukey to score a try, and the Cowboys to win. No good. And then
they both scored quietly.
Is anything bet, all of the following teams to win. Dolphins, Roosters, Knights, Storm, Panthers, Cowboys at $6.25. No good. He was down $45 for the week, and he is up $63.75 for the season. Carl, best bet, Dolphins -6.5 at $1.90. Tick. Try scorer, Herbie Farnworth to score a try at $2.05. No good. His same game multi, Storm to win by 13 or more, and Jerome Hughes to score a try, $5.98. Tick. And his anything bet, 61 or more points in the Bunny Sharks game at $2.90. No good. Sharks couldn't help you out there, Carl. Carl was up $94.50, and he is up $252.50 for the season.
Woo-hoo-hoo. That's 6 weeks in a row, fella. 6 weeks in a row.
I don't want to hear this, Paul.
Teddy, best bet. Best bet. Dragons Dragons +9.5.
You've got to stop this, Teddy. This is the moment.
You know, employers, if one of their employees often falls their way into some kind of advice, they will send them to rehab. If I'm on the Dragons again, you need to get me. You need to get me into rehab. Help is needed.
Well, this is just off air punters. Teddy was just telling us how he was up late last night preparing for the pod, and he was talking himself into the Dragons. So this is me stepping in to tell you no, you cannot bet the Dragons this week.
I found a good
but for the punters,
Brisbane that will take me on Friday to about Monday, actually. So
I really want Teddy to take the Dragons this week.
I think it's Teddy's off them, and we tell the punters to pile on because this is the week. If Teddy's off, they'll get up.
Just because I don't tip them doesn't mean I won't back them.
So back to last week. Teddy's best bet, Dragons +9.5 at $1.90. No good. His try scorer, KPP at $3.15. No good. His same game multi, Jackson Purdue to score a try, Braden Burns to score a try, Scott Drinkwater to score a try, over 53.5, and the Cowboys to win at $7.25. No good. And his anything bet, 3 games, all to go under the total. He had the Bunny Sharks under 53.5 into Manly Broncos under 51.5 into Dogs Dolphins under 50.5.
Big shout out to Connor Tracy, who decided to miss the last of his 53 tackles right at the end when Selwyn Commerce wanted to try. Send it over. So, cheers, Connor.
Teddy minus 150 last week, and he is minus 312.75 cents for the season.
Wow.
Patients have well and truly set in now.
That's a big hole to get out of.
I'm looking forward to a peaceful hotel trip in New Zealand, to be perfectly honest. Best bet this week, Dragon.
Me last week, best bet, Rabbitohs 13 and over at $3.10. I would like to know
nice.
That was the price prior to Latrell Mitchell being pulled out. I kept that price. I didn't take the big price afterwards. That was a win.
Well, good.
Try scorer.
You're supposed to take the big price afterwards. You're supposed to take the actual price. So well done.
Try scorer. Will Warbrick to be the first, second, or third try scorer at $3.70. Tick. Same game multi. Jackson Purdue to score a try. Josh Adokar to score a try. Cowboys minus 10.5. No good. And then my anything bet, the Knights to score 41 or more points at $3.80. Tick.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I was up $285 for the week. I'm up $856.25 for the season. Teddy, let me know when you're going to catch me.
Well, some of the bets I've got this week, Paul, I could catch you this week because I'm in true panic sale. Just throwing the dice. Dragons, 13 plus.
$856 to the positive, Paul. Wow, wait.
Last year you were minus 4 figures last year.
Yeah.
This is going to require the drug testers to get involved here because get the stewards out. This has been a remarkable turnaround.
Look, I'm going to say, Teddy, that the 6 again rule is really working in my favour this season.
Well, not so much, mate. I'm really relying on all it's not really helping at all.
You are 4 figures behind Paul, Teddy.
I've had some shameful moments in my life. I've done some things I will say I probably regret. Some things I'm not happy to think back on. This might be the worst.
I was going to give you a pump up on your your blog tipping and all of that, but maybe we don't. I don't know if we should.
just hide it for a week or two.
I've got no doubt you can bounce back. Look, I remember last year I got up to $1,200 in the positives, and there was a slow burn back to the field. There's got to be some regression here.
Look, we all know that bold front runners tend to collapse late in the season, but late in the race. But still, I don't know if I'm making any ground either. I think I might have. We might need to bring the green screen out.
You're almost 400 behind Surly. Like you've got a long way back.
Yeah, but Surly's going to go on a run of not tipping, so that's going to give me some chance.
Yeah, he might make up 150 this week.
I've got to find a winner first.
All right, good stuff. Let's go good, the bad, and the ugly. I'll start. I don't know if you guys saw this. Dylan Brown's post-match interview. I don't think he meant this. Maybe he did in a bad light, but he put a real gave a real dig to the Dragons. I don't know what the question was, but his answer was, yeah, it was a real arm wrestle for the first 7 minutes. Speaking of the game.
And if the game had finished there, Eddie's plus 9.5 would have come in.
Just.
So that's good stuff. That is. That really is. That made me laugh.
Oh, well, that's slowly contributing to his 1.1 million a year. Doing his bit for the night.
What do you got, Teddy?
Good. Manly the real deal. It took me a little while. I thought they had the little bump after Foreign took over and stuff like that. But their performance against the Broncos was super impressive. I know Brisbane were very, very bad with the ball. They're dropping a lot of ball. Walsh and Mam had two of their worst games. Walsh may have played himself out of an origin jumper, but Manly, no Tom Trebojevic, playing Clayton Fawalo at fullback. Absolutely the real deal. Their intensity with defence, incredible. They're getting the most out of kind of, quote unquote bit players who are just doing a role. Your Kobe Hetheringtons and the like. Jake Trebojevic is a different player than what he was in the first 3 weeks. I'm very much against players coaching players they played with, but I'm happy to make an exception with Kieran Foran. I think he's done a great job there. He's really simplified what they're doing, and he's getting the most out of it. So, Manly, a real deal.
Yeah. Just on that, Teddy, I think it just goes to show how much of an effect a happy team, forget about the tactics, forget about game plans and things like that. If you don't have a happy team, they ain't going to play for you if they don't believe in what you're preaching. And the change has been so significant. And you're right. Usually you do get that new coach bump. This isn't a bump. They're on a freeway here and they're flying. I really like the way that they're playing. And they still got a star or two to come back as well. So it's really interesting.
I know the AFL
They've only
factor in New Zealand as well, but shout out to Collingwood Football Club, the biggest AFL team in Australia, who have just signed Anthony Seabold as a coaching consultant. What are they thinking?
Oh, gee.
Since Foreign's come in, they've scored 52, 28, 38, 33, 16 against the Panthers, and then 32 last week.
And Turbo's
They are
enough of them.
flying.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
They're flying.
Yeah.
And they come up against the Tigers this week, who are in a hole. They might put 40 on the Tigers.
And worth mentioning as well, I probably should have mentioned it when I was going to do it. Young Joey Walsh, I don't recall for a long, long time a young halfback in his first couple of games looking as ready for first grade. Often you see these young kids like Cade Reid who come in and you think, well, they probably will be good one day, but they're going to need time. They're going to need to build themselves up. He's a big body. He was running the ball at the line straight away. I loved everything I saw about Joey Walsh.
Yeah. Paul, what do you got?
My good is a simple one. Greg Marju scoring 5 tries for the Newcastle Knights. Absolutely sensational. I know it was only against the Dragons, so there'll probably be a little asterisk next to it.
It wasn't arm wrestle for 7 minutes, to be fair.
Exactly. Just look, if a player scores 5 tries, that's something to shout out. Although I get the feeling we might see a couple more times where we'll see a player score 5 tries this season. So yeah, well done to Greg Marju, sensational.
Shout out to Dom Young, who is one of the great try scorers and finishers. He hasn't scored in about a month and couldn't get near it in that game. They kept going on the other side.
We might see multiple players score 5 tries this week against the same team. Let's go the bad. Mine, Lukey Met, looking elsewhere. I don't like it.
I do.
Yeah.
Because the dogs do, yeah. I've been thinking about it overnight, and I like I said, don't like it. I'm obviously not. I would have Lukey Met in my team. I'm obviously not an NRL coach, but do we think that while Tanner Boyd's been playing some pretty good footy behind maybe the best forward pack in the comp, that Webby's so comfortable with our depth, Hansen and Cleary and whoever else, that he's okay? He just doesn't bother him? Is that where we're at? Or does it speak to the Warriors' structures and systems that we're that confident that we don't need someone like Metcalf, whose ceiling is much, much higher than most, I think.
Well, there's a real Toby Sexton getting kicked out of the Dogs field, so this one, if you ask me. Like
Mm.
I saw one of good Simpsons memes. I think this morning or last night. That Luke Metcalf tied to the back of the train, saying, "But I was leading the Dalian medal when I last played, and we thank you for your service." As he's sent on his way. But it's a fair point though. Like everyone seems to forget, he was pushing for a New South Wales Origin selection. He was leading the Dalian medal when he did his knee. He was outstanding, and everyone seems to forget Tanner Boyd is not a very good player. Yeah, he's played well this year. There's absolutely no disputing that. He's played well behind a good pack. This is absolute madness, and I would like to think very much that Canterbury will swoop in and solve some of our issues with that.
I had one of my good mates. I was texting about this last night, and he said, "Oh, you seem to forget, not much recency bias. The only two games the Warriors have lost this year when Luke Metcalf played." And I was like, that was not Luke Metcalf. Go have a look at the stats of the forward pack and how the rest of the team played versus the other games. That's what that was like. That was not. You cannot put those two games on Luke Metcalf coming back.
You need time to recover as well from ACL. So
Yeah.
it's a bad comparison as well to go, well, Tanner Boyd, who's been fully fit and has 8-10 games under his belt this year, up against Luke Metcalf, who's played a couple of half games in a year.
Almost a year. Yeah.
So it's a ridiculous comparison. But if you are thinking about winning premierships from 2027 to 2030, you go with Luke Metcalf.
Your thoughts, Paul?
Look, I would love to see Luke Metcalf stay in a Warriors jersey. Obviously, that's not going to happen. And I don't know if he wanted out or if the Wars looked at their stocks and the future and said, I think we've got enough here to play with.
What happens? Here's a question to you both. What happens if, and you don't want to put injury on anyone, but what happens if Tanner Boyd goes down in the second minute of the game this weekend? We've also got Tamati Martin on the bench there. But
that was madness. Like I appreciate the bitterness and vindictiveness of Andrew Webster in this one. This reminds me of Chris Anderson dropping Darren Smith. All that. I'm like, it's utter stupidity. Like it is. I'm obviously on the Warriors this year. I'm keen on the Warriors. I like what they've done. That is absolute madness tonight. Like that tells me he's going to be out of the club in the next couple of weeks. That kind of drop.
So, who do we get from the Dogs, Teddy?
I've made you the deal. You can have Marcelo Montoya. You can have James. To be fair, you can pretty much have anyone. The way Crichton's playing, you can have him. Birdo costs too much. You can have him. Take whoever you want. I don't care. You can't have Jacob Preston. Preston's the one bloke off the table.
I'd take Burton. I think it'd be a good fit.
I like Burton, but he has about 4 try assists in a year, so he's just a centre. So get him in the centre.
Yeah, I totally agree. And if you had someone like a Metcalf at the Bulldogs, then you could move Burton into the centres. You could move Crichton to fullback.
We could move to about 27 million. But
you could move Galvin into the forward pack if you wanted to. There's a few movable parts there.
I reckon maybe we do a special episode in the coming weeks where we just pick apart every team and we decide what our roster would be and what the ideal playing positions are for all these players.
I like it, but that's going to be a 17-hour podcast. But
all right, well, let's move on so this one doesn't become 17 hours as well.
The Robert Toya try, how the bunker managed to award that try when he clearly dropped it, he knew he dropped it over the line. It was an absolutely disgraceful decision. The bunker was brought in, or the video ref was brought in the early 2000s to stop howlers. Yeah, we get all these nitpicky ones where, disruptors are coming through and someone may have flashed a hand in front of not going with one hand, all this rubbish they're disallowing tries on and getting involved in. Yet in consecutive weeks, they allowed the Will Hopper-White obstruction try and Nathan Cleary was taken out. And then where Robert Toya just clearly dropped the ball and they were awarding tries. It's absolutely disgraceful. And I'll say it again for the millionth time. You have to get referees out of the bunker. They have no idea what they're doing, and they try to be smarter than everyone else.
Can't argue.
No.
Paul?
No. I was the same. It was the bunker overall. The performance of the bunker overall over the weekend was deplorable, and I will not discuss the bunker again this season because I know it'll come up again. I will not discuss it again.
Please,
I know Teddy will. He will.
If we get it, okay. So on Sunday when we're watching the Warriors Broncos, Paul, if we get a bad call,
yeah,
you're not allowed to bring it up.
Not on here. No, I'll give it everything
okay.
on the day. 100%. I will. Yes.
I've got a very big fishing expedition for the rest of the year.
Ugly talk of Magic Round being taken away from Brisbane. I think it's found its home in Brisbane. It needs to stay in Brisbane. They need to sign it off. I don't see. You'd know better than I, Teddy, but I don't think anywhere else in Australia could do it as well as Brisbane. There are potentially a couple of spots over here that could work, but I don't think we would get the same crowd. I think Brisbane's the spot for it.
The only place would has the same passion for rugby league in Australia as Newcastle, and they just don't have the hotels and the ease of getting to as Brisbane. So I completely agree there. And you know what? Auckland had the Nines for a lot of years. It was hardly ever a sellout. So,
first year was, but after that it wasn't.
So, and you know what? If they moved it around and had 1 year there, it would be right. I think you're on a winning here. Just stick with it.
Yeah, agree. What's your ugly?
My ugly, Connor Tracy. Everything about him. That was a disgraceful performance, and I've never seen a fullback miss so many one-on-one tackles. It was under 7 stuff. You know, if you were coached at under 7s, you would be filthy at a player for missing that many tackles. Grabby hands, and he would have allowed, I think, 4 tries just on his own to miss tackles. He's got 1 try assist all year. He's absolutely no business being in first grade. Yet was re-signed, of course, because that's the genius that Phil Gould and Cameron Sorrella like to portray themselves as. Worst fullback on the comp. Shouldn't be picked this week. Yeah, of course was. We'll get into that in just a moment. But you cannot miss that many one-on-one tackles as a fullback. If you are a plodding fullback, your one job should be reliability, and he's completely unreliable at the back now as well. So, hands like feet, can't tackle, stupid. Connor Tracy.
His tackle efficiency in that game was 25%. He made 2 tackles. He missed 5 with an ineffective tackle. The next least efficient tackler was Jonathan Sewer at 58.33. And then the next...
under 50%. I don't ever seen anyone.
The whole team's in the 80s and above. Yeah.
And they were just simple tackles as well. Just get around there, cut them down. Couldn't do it.
The lowest tackle efficiency in the Dolphins for that game, 82.14. Isaiah Katoa.
He just doesn't know.
And he made 10 times as many tackles, obviously in a different position. Yeah.
Welcome to a two-year extension. Actually, I love signing players early when there's no market for them. So you get in ahead of the big crowd of 0 that's chasing him.
What do you got, Paul?
Just on the Brisbane Broncos, their performance last week against Manly, they had less than 40% possession. They did very little with that possession. They had a 55% completion rate. They had 1 line break. They were very, very poor. I know they've got a few injuries. I'm just concerned that they put in a very poor performance last week before heading into Magic Round this week. But yeah, I was going to pick on the Dragons, but they're just too easy these days.
They've got a few bad bunker decisions, though, don't you think, Paul?
Yeah. I think you could just put that on a postcard and apply that to every single game from last week.
I actually don't
But
know
you
whether it's a bad bunker decision or not. I was just trying to lure you into talking about the bunker again, of which you've broken 2 minutes after making that promise of never doing it again.
After today,
We didn't even finish that segment.
I would say unbelievable, but it's very, very believable. And thanks, all the Warriors punters. Thank you for just putting the hex on us by talking down on the Broncos this week. Thanks, mate. Let's go Teamless Tuesday. My one, we talked about Lukey Met not being there, Tomato Martin being on the bench, but the one for mine, and I guess we saw it earlier in the year, but interested to see how Jackson Ford gets used now that Barney's back, Fisher's there, Clark, Vaimonga, Tannerstow Smith on the extended bench as well. Is he still going to play 70 odd minutes? When's he going to come on? Just kind of interesting to see how that plays out for mine. Teddy?
Yeah, there were a few that caught my eye. Obviously, Latrell back being named. Couldn't believe, given the amount of tinkering that Serraldo does at Connor Tracy was back in. But the one that stood out to me was in that first game. Blake Brayley's run of the 139 consecutive games comes to an end. I would have his nose in front for the New South Wales hooking job. Rich Robson probably keeps it because Laurie Daly doesn't make changes. But Blake Brayley, that's a different world for the Sharks. He obviously played a lot of threat games and plays 80 minutes a game as well. So Jaden Beryl's got a big task ahead of him on Friday night.
Do you give the Dogs any more of a chance because he's out?
Yeah, I can't say I like the Dogs, but I couldn't have the Sharks playing 5.5 either, especially without Brayley.
Paul?
Mine was Mitch Barnett as well. It just gives that pack just a really good balanced look about it with Jackson Ford coming off the bench. They've got workhorses in the starting pack as well as X Factor. They've got great leadership there, and they've got a whole lot of power coming off the bench. Really do like the look of that Warriors forward pack this weekend in Magic Round, and Mitch Barnett just adds another dimension. This will be the Broncos will know they've been in a game after Sunday.
Well, on the forward pack, I hate the forward off the bench situation. The guys played 70 minutes, racking up huge numbers, highly effective. I would have thought it would have been much, much better having Mitch Barnett or Fisher Harris come off the bench and add some impact. And just that forward kept ticking over. It makes not a lot of sense. I would not be surprised to see a late change, but to me, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You don't put the workhorse on to come and play 30, 40 minutes. You leave him out there for 60 or 70, and then you rotate the other guys through.
He might come on early, Teddy. If he doesn't start Jackson Ford, he might come in. But Barnett might go out there, have a burst for 10, 15 minutes, and then Ford might come on, and then you might see Fisher Harris and Barnett sort of rotate around a wee bit. But I agree. He's the sort of player, if you're going to have him, you have to play him big minutes because that's what he does.
Yeah, he's a Melbourne Cup 3,200 metre horse. He's not a Golden Slipper.
Good, correct. Yeah.
Are you suggesting that you could beat him in a race, Teddy?
No, I'm still not suggesting I could beat him in a race. Tom Eisenhook, though.
Come at me. All right, stat chat. I've got 2 stats here, Magic Round related, that I'm going to share. First one might be my favourite. The Dragons are 0-5 at Magic Round. What are they? What's their losing streak at now? Like 14 total,
it's a
8, 9 this year.
It's a lot.
And they have not won at Magic Round. They will not win this weekend.
Teddy, do you have a stat around the Dragons covering the spread at Magic Round?
I do. Stand by. I've actually written this down.
Old school.
Dragons. I haven't got the first year because I only done post-COVID because it's a different game. But in the 5 years since, they've had 1 bye and 0 covers out of their 4 games.
Shout out to the 26.5 points this week.
Surely that Teddy can't. He won't be able to resist that 26.5.
Well, I'll give you a stat for that game to go off that one. Although I have got a few against big favourites, but I will say this: first place teams against bottom 5 teams since 2008 cover at 61%. So I should say against teams placed 13th or worse. So bottom 4 until Dolphins come. 61%.
That's all. That's all I need to know.
And this is this will be a rare battle. I don't know how often, but a rare battle between the best defensive team against the worst defensive team, which is quite. The best defensive team against the worst attacking team. First to defend.
No wonder Carl's looking for the round specials, lowest scoring team.
You can get a bet on the Dragons to score negative points because that might be the bet.
Their total this week's 15.5. Look, we'll get to this game shortly. We're going to preview this game.
Yep.
We'll come back to it.
Okay.
My other stat, since 2021, there has been at least one person score a hat trick every year at Magic Round.
I know Selwyn Cobbo got it twice. He's the second leading try scorer at Magic Round, and Josh Adokar is the leading try scorer. He has one hat trick, I think.
Yep. Nathan Cleary has a hat trick.
Yeah.
And there's a guy from the Sharks who flash in the pan stuff. You wouldn't even know his name. Daniel someone? He got one a couple of years ago.
Daniel Atkinson?
No. Doesn't matter. I could check on my phone, but if I do that, the sick background behind me will turn off and you'll get the nanny on TV. We don't want that.
I do like the nanny. Shout out Fran Drescher.
Fran Drescher, yeah.
Paul, what stat have you got?
It's in the Dragons Panthers game. Panthers have won 8 of the last 10 against the Dragons, and they've won the last 2. The last one by 20 points, and the one before that by 36 points. They really have. And this was...
That would only be one cover there, Paul. That would be one cover.
Hold it. Let me qualify it now, Teddy. And that was against a Dragons team that wasn't quite as bad as the one that they're going to face this weekend. I think they were a wee bit better last year and the year before. So they look, this, yeah. Oh, as you two would say, Sunday, bloody Sunday. Crikey.
What else have you got, Teddy?
All right, Sharks, Dogs. 12 of the last 15 meetings have tallied 38 or fewer points. Low scorers between those two. Souths and Dolphins. The last two Souths Dolphins matches hit 70 points. Tigers, Manly. Tigers are 1-8 with 6 losses of 14 or more when Api Coruscant does not play. Richmond, Cowboys. The over is 20-11 when the Cowboys are off scoring 28 plus. Para Melbourne, the over is 17-5 when the Eels play interstate. Gold Coast, Newcastle, the Knights have covered 14 of their last 19 games against bottom 5 teams. The Wars, Broncos, the Wars have covered 5 of their last 6 as an interstate favourite. And Penrith Dragons we've already discussed.
Okay, some good stuff there. Let's roll into the match previews. And the first game we've got here is the Bunnies. $1.98 against the Dolphins, $1.83. The line 1.5, the total 55.5. Just to tack onto what you were saying, Teddy, they've played 3 times at Suncorp. Bunnies are 2-1. With a total of 198 points scored. It's an average of 66 per game at Suncorp alone.
Yep.
Again, some try scorers. Sarko's got 6 in his last 3. Latrell 8 in his last 5. Cobbo 4 in his last 4 with those 2 hat tricks at Magic Round as well. Bostock 8 in his last 5. The one that stood out to me, not for the tries that he's scored, but the hammer on a 3-game tryless streak.
Hammer on all sorts.
Yeah. Can't find the line.
Herbie's been a bit.
I was.
I think Herbie's failed to score his last two as well.
Mm,
Regulars.
I was a little bit surprised to see the Bunnies outsiders here.
I think there's a fair bit of speculation that Latrell won't play. It's the only reason I've come.
I mean-
Because betting's been weird in this one. South open as favourites, went out to $2. Teams were named. South went back into marginal favourites. They're back out to about the $2, $2.10, depending where you're looking, kind of mark. I would suggest that says Latrell's not going to play. Wouldn't rule it out. Like, I don't think anyone knows for sure. I think if Latrell's definitely out, this will go to 2.30 and line with 4.5. But at the moment, I'm not interested in side stuff at the moment. I'm interested in total, and I'll be betting the over, whether Latrell plays or not. In fact, if Latrell doesn't play, it'll be better for the over. No Alex Johnson either for South, which is, I think, a little bit of a surprise when teams were named as well. But South have scored 30 plus in 6 straight games. They've got the best attack in the NRL. The Dolphins they top 28 in 2 of their last 8. So they've been more a defensive side, but we saw last week against the Dogs that they can put on points in shootouts. And we all know what the weapons they've got there. Sako, Hammer, Bostock now, Herbie. Over here, strong angles on both sides here. Over 6 and 3 when South are at Suncorp, 15 and 10 when they're playing the state, 20 and 14 when the Dolphins play at Suncorp, 18 and 11 when they're a favourite. Last 2 hit 70 plus, 4 of the last 5 hit 50 plus. The over's 4 and 1 in the history. I'm backing the over 54.5 here with a good degree of confidence. Probably a slight lean towards the Dolphins, but price is about right. No, I won't be picking a side to bet on until final teams are announced.
Even if Latrell's out, Paul, the other Latrell went all right last week.
He certainly did. An able replacement. I agree with Teddy. Regardless of whether Latrell Mitchell plays or not, this is an overs game, big time. There's just so much attack on both sides. Can I just mention Ashton Ward, who I thought was sensational last week? I've got a lunchbox that's heavier than him. But he is not afraid to put his body on the line. He made that around the ankles tackle close to the try line. And he did everything he needed to do when he had the ball in hand as well. I was really impressed with how he went. So looking forward to see how he goes. But in terms of the game, this is an overs game for mine, and I'm going to get stuck in.
A few good judges like having Ward in the team over Humphries because he digs into the line with the ball and kind of creates a bit more space for
Yes.
Cody Walker's outside him. I tend to agree. And just on the over as well, which I kind of failed to mention in the first place, Magic Weekend last 5 years, the over is 24 and 16. But notably, under lights, the over is 17 and 8. So the day games that haven't been here. So the night games have been well and truly going over the total. So I would, not be afraid of this one at night. I'll be looking at that one. You can see all that on Punters Lounge as well. Carl, there's an article up on Magic Round stats, facts and figures.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Very, very good article. The just looking at the weather on Friday looks very sunny, not a heap of rain around. Whereas Saturday's
too sunny at night. I would have thought.
All right, pal. We don't need to do that, okay?
I think that deserves better. I think that deserves better than straight that there.
We don't need to do that. What I'm suggesting is that the track will be dry and the game will be fast, allowing 4 more points, Teddy. Okay?
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
You don't need to be I won't say that word.
You've
Whereas
been
Saturday,
saying
Sunday.
You've been saying that for a decade. It hasn't changed.
Next game.
Okay. Next game. Eels Eels $2.48. The Storm $1.41. The line is 7.5 in this one. The total 53.5. These two teams have played 4 times at Suncorp in the last 5 years. Storm lead that count 3-1, and they've averaged 57.5 points total in that time. Along on a 4-game try scoring streak, and as you said earlier, Teddy Adokar has the most tries at Magic Round. I picked it last week. Storm bounced back in a big way against the Tigers. I think they could do the same here against the Eels.
Well, I hope Teddy's got some stats that say the Eels could cover here because I do like them at the line.
Well, I actually don't have a strong view on the side in this one. Melbourne won 7 straight. They've covered 6 or 7. They won the last one, which was just in round 1, 52-4. 5 of their last 6 wins over the Eels have been by 18 or more. So I'll be back in the Storm rather than the Eels. My worry with the Eels, Parrot 7-15 against the spread interstate. They've covered just 5 of their last 19 as an underdog off a win. I'm not super confident about Melbourne, but I think they take a lot of confidence in last week. But I am super confident about the over in this one. Absolutely love points again. The over is 7-4 in the last 11 Storm road games, 57% when they're favoured. 5-1 when they're favoured by 6.5 or more. But the Eels, and this is mainly related to their defence, 17-5 when they're in the state, 15-9 when they're an underdog of at least 8 points, which they could get out to. 18-7 when they're an underdog of 4 or more away from combat. 32-15 when they're away from combat. That's a 67% over angle when they're away from home. That's a ridiculous number. So I will be backing the over. They showed last week they can score quickly, but they also concede a lot of points very quickly as well. So we saw the Storm the way they started the game; they can score quickly too. So I like the points in this one. Probably lean towards the Storm. So, but if you've got a good case of Parramatta Paul, certainly couldn't talk you out of it.
They've conceded 30 plus in 3 straight, Paul. Surely you're not going to back the Eels.
Not head to head, but the 7.5 just looks a little long for mine. Even although Teddy's stats have sort of dampened down my enthusiasm for the Eels plus 7.5.
They should. Have you seen my record in the betting stats? I would have thought that should have enthused you.
Yeah, I agree with Teddy. I think this is another one where the overs is the way to go if you're going to have a bet on the Eels Storm. Farlongo has just been outstanding for the Storm, even when they were struggling. He was being the one bright light. I see he's very, very short to score a try. I think it was $1.53 the last time I had a look.
Are you convinced he's going to play this week?
I don't know. Well,
he was expected to miss, and then he was obviously named on Tuesday. But yeah, I was a bit surprised to say no.
Well,
I thought he was cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was cleared, but like whether they're going to go and risk him in that situation. Look, he was named. I think
they have to.
He's playing.
Then they have to risk him if they want to play. If they want any chance of sneaking into the 8.
Oh, gee, I don't know. There's a Tongan edge forward that was risked in an international game. That
don't turn that in. That's not what this is at all.
I look at that and I think, do you really want to? Do you?
That's not what this is.
You give him a rest. And so the plus 7.5.
This is a bloke who wants to take Parramatta plus 7.5.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
The plus 7.5. And if Farlongo doesn't start for the Storm, that really does look extremely attractive for mine. So I'm going the overs for now. We'll wait until we get a wee bit closer to the game. If it moves to 8.5, I'll take that. I will take it.
So I got Storm 13. 4.5. I suspect you'll take that too. So
give me Storm 13 plus 20 plus, all of it. Warriors $1.65 to the Broncos $2.25. The line 3.5. The total a bit lower in this one, 51.5. They've played 15 times at Suncorp in the last 20 years. Broncos lead that count 11-4. But what I thought was interesting, the points difference across those 15 games is only 44 points. So pretty tight games.
Yeah, and the last 13 between the two, anywhere, have been split evenly. 6 wins to each team and a draw.
Yeah. I looking at the team list, you've got to like take my Warriors hat off quite literally. You've got to, I guess, side with the Warriors here. They've got close to their strongest team on the park, and the Broncos don't.
Yeah, the outs are huge. Certainly a big part of it. Even at the B now, I kind of suspect the Warriors aren't getting the respect they probably deserve. in this one. The Warriors have covered 27 of 44 on the road, 5 or 6 as an interstate favourite. No real knock on the Broncos here, other than the team list. Like they are really scraping at the moment, and I'm not sure what they're going to do, particularly with the pack. They got smashed by Manly through the middle last week, and the Manly pack is about as small and as ineffective as any in the comp outside of Homoli. So they're against a pack that's going to roll with Ford, Barnett, Fisher, Harris, Aaron Clark. That's going to be hard to contain. Warriors deserve favourites here. I do like the over in this one. Again, I'm leaning towards over. The over this season, 21-7 in the last 28 day games. They are not putting the number up high enough in day games. I'll be backing every day game over blindly until that stat shows any signs of a bait. And if you take out some of the twilight games, I think it's like 17 of 19. Now, this will be a twilight game, so I'm just saying for the other two games, clear day games. The over is 15-9 when the Warriors are off a double-digit win. 10-4 when they're off a rest of 11 or more days. The over is 7-2 when the Broncos off scoring 10 or fewer. 9-4 when the Broncos play under Klein. And 17-12 when they're against top 4 teams. So I'm liking points in this one.
Do you want the weather report, or should I just give this one a miss?
No. Oh, well, the sun may or may not be out, but it will at least have a chance to be out. I do think it's supposed to be a bit patchy on Sunday, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Paul, what do you like here?
Yeah, I also like the overs, and in fact, I've already figured out Teddy's anything bet this week. He's going to take possibly 3 games all to go overs, which is the complete opposite of what he did last week with his 3 games trying to go all unders. So I've figured Teddy out a wee bit. I also like the overs here. If you have a look at the spine, I think the spines are very, very. They're fairly similar with the likes of Reece Walsh, Ezra Mam, Adam Reynolds, and Corey Pakes up against Tane Tuopiki, Harris DeVita, Tanner Boyd, and Wade Egan. It's just that forward pack, that Warriors forward pack, and then the forwards that they've got coming off the bench, I think give the Wars the edge here, and I think they'll create a whole heap of space and time for their backs to score a few tries. So, yep, I like the overs. I also like the Wars.
All right, last one we're going to look at. Panthers $1.04, Dragons $12, the line 26.5, the total 57.5.
Haven't we already talked about this?
But we can go a little bit deeper here. Since round 3, so the Dragons have scored 20 twice this year, I think, first 2 rounds.
They haven't surpassed.
Since round 3.
They haven't surpassed.
No, they haven't surpassed. But since round 3, they've averaged 11.6 points a game. They've conceded 36.3 per game and 106 in the last 2 games. Fingers crossed. I would love nothing more than to see Panthers win this 100-0. It would be so much fun.
Not for Dragons fans.
But it would just. There is no way the Dragons can win this game.
Teddy.
No way.
I'm going to temper some enthusiasm before saying this is a no-bet game, and I'm going to back the minus because I just refuse to bet the Dragons anymore. But since 2008, favourites of 24 or more cover at just 38%. Penrith have been in that spot 9 times, cover just 3 of them. Favoured by 18 or more the last 4 years, cover just 2 of 9. They are 0-3 against the spread at night this year. Sorry, 0-3 against the last 3 night games, and 0-3 against the spread under Liam Kennedy. Now, of course, it's the Dragons. So of course, you've got to want to back on the Panthers. The Dragons have covered just 1 of their last 11. So there you go. Fun stuff for the Dragons. So that's all you need to know about them. Yeah. The Dragons have covered 5 of their last 7 against the Panthers and had been the bogey side for Penrith for a long time. You might remember they rolled them. I think it was during an Origin period, but they were big outsiders a couple of years ago. But you just got to look at this Dragon side. Kyle Flanagan's back. Dan Atkinson's back. Like, I think they've got a good young forward pack who, with the Couchmans, Dylan Egan, Hamish Stewart, who will come good eventually, but the back line is beyond a joke. Gutho, now then, you want to talk about people, I'll be confident I could outrun. I'm not saying I could outrun him in a sprint, Gutho, but I reckon I could give myself a chance of getting around him. Because he's got the lateral movement of me at the moment. And he's their good centre. Because Valentine Holmes is having an absolute stinker of a season. So they leave too many points out wide, and that's going to be their problem. They're going to come up against Tom Jenkins, Alamotti, Casey McLean, and they are going to have an absolute field day out on those edges. So I think Casey McLean will be on. Well, Gutho's going back to fullback. So, but if Sully does miss again, could be on Gutho again 1-on-1, please, Philip. So can't recommend a bet, but wink, wink, go to Panthers.
Wink, wink. Dragons team is historically bad. It's so bad. They've lost so many in a row.
And they're not being helped by Dean Young, who's managed to work himself out of a job in 2 weeks. They were getting absolutely smoked by the Knights last week. Absolutely blunt the park after the first 7 minutes when it was an arm wrestle. And he made 2 interchanges in the first 50 minutes. 2. He'd made 4 interchanges by the 66th minute. What are you saving those last 4 interchanges for, Dean?
Big comeback.
Game's gone.
Yeah. Not great. Paul, what do you reckon?
There's one thing that you have to remember when you bet on this game. This is the 2026 Dragons. Right. Take that piece of information. Now go into the game and punt the Panthers any which way but loose. I love Dragons under 15.5. I think that's a fantastic bet this weekend. I love the Panthers to score a bazillion points as well. The one, I don't know if there's a market out there on this, but if we could get a minus 9,999 spectators from the end of the Broncos game to the start of the Panthers-Dragons game, I would take the over there. I think we'll see a mass exodus after the second to last game of Magic Round because no one, apart from Panther fans, will want to hang around to watch that game.
Off to the Caxton, Paul.
I can't confirm or deny, Teddy.
Not you. I'm talking about the 9,999 punches. Apparently, Paul's going to be one of them.
I'll be waving the flag, leading the parade. Yeah.
I'm going to hang around. I genuinely want to see a bloodbath here. Anyway, okay. Let's get to some betting.
Have we got them?
I've got Blake's here. I'll start with Blake's.
Okay.
His best bet, only Melbourne to score 20 at $2.60. That's against the Eels. Blaze Talangi try scorer at 235. Same game multi. He's got Trowell, Herbie to combine for 2 or more, and either team 1 to 12 at $4.68. Then anything else, he's swinging for the fences here. He's taking a try scorer from every game.
Holy what?
So he's got K.L. Ero, Jermaine Asako, Kohler, Tedesco, Hughes, Sharp, DWZ, and Casey McLean at 151.70.
This is what I've got to do. This is what I've
got to do. Exactly what you've got to do, Teddy.
That doesn't sound out of the realms of possibility. I might follow that in.
I'm in a try scoring tipping competition. I cannot tell you how difficult it is. You think you just got all these certainties. Doesn't take many. Yeah, everyone puts hammer in. Well, 3 weeks. 3 weeks he hasn't scored. Yeah.
Yep. I haven't seen anything come from. Oh, yep. I do have a text from Surly here.
And?
Hang on, I'm going to have to turn this TV off in the background because it's going to...
What, show his bets up on the screen?
I was just hoping to see a bit of Fran Drescher.
Okay. Surly, best bet. DWZ and AKP 2+ combined, $1.85.
He loves that
It
one.
does. Try scorer, Harry Grant at $3.15. Same game multi. Panthers 13+, Cleary and Edwards anytime at $4.30. Anything else? AKP and Hopawate, first, second, or third try scorer at $11.22.
Interesting.
One of you guys go so I can stop talking for a little bit.
All right.
You go.
Over 53.5, Melbourne and Parramatta at $1.85. Try scorer, Alafiana Campera, 2+ tries at $3. Same game multi, Manly win. Lehi Hopawati, 2+ tries. Tolu Kola try. Now he's back in the centres, $7.54. Any other? Paul, the psychic, over 53.5. Tigers Manly, over 56.5. Gold Coast Newcastle, over 51.5. New Zealand Brisbane, $6.60. And the fact that Paul can read my mind has me really thrown off right now.
Oh,
That's great.
that's made my
Paul,
day.
what have you got, Paulie?
Best bet, Dragons under 15.5 at $1.96. I'm concerned about my try scorer bet. I get the feeling we're going to stop this guy this week. Alofiana Khan Pereira, first, second, or third try scorer at $3.40. I think three of us have taken him in some capacity. My same game multi, Dragons under 15.5, over 57.5 in the game, and a milky hat trick, $19.49. And my anything bet, Eels plus 7.5 into the Panthers minus 26.5 at $3.80.
Okay. We're singing from the same song sheet here, Paul. My best bet is St. George Illawarra Dragons under 2.5 total tries at $2.05.
Woo.
My try scorer, Mr. Milky Jenkins, first, second, or third at $2.95. Same game multi, Storm 13+, Warbrick and Addo-Carr to score at $5.63. And then anything else, this makes it 4 from 5. AKP, first, second, or third try scorer, and the Warriors win at $3.96.
No.
Score him late, AKP. Score him late.
Look, I'll take the loss if he does score them late. I'm happy with that, Teddy.
Even better if he scores them late to put 50 on the Broncos. That would be great. All right, boys. Thank you very much. That'll do us for this week. Thank you to the listeners, to the viewers, everyone out there. We'll be back next week to do it all again on the Advantage Line.